Say hello. We just had lunch. We did. We just had lunch. And he is a very good eater. Yes, he is a good eater. In fact, he would eat a whole bottle. Hi, Patty. He would eat the whole bottle if I let him have at it. I have to keep my finger on the plunger. I use syringes to feed him. Hi, Beth. I use syringes to feed him, and he's all about grabbing a good suction on there, and I don't really have to touch the plunger other than to back it off, because otherwise he would down it like a shot. And right now he's getting close to almost 4 ounces, cc's. I give it to him a cc at a time. That way he doesn't overdo it, get a lot of air. I worry about aspirating him. So I make sure that we cover all the bases there, because I've been reading up a lot on how to take care of it. I didn't have this opportunity last time because we were 4 days without power. We were several days without being able to go anywhere. The roads were closed. No internet, no power. Our phones were for squat. And at that point, I had no idea who to even call. Who are you going to call? The squirrel helpers. Yes, we are. We're squirrel helpers. So this is a lot. There's a lot more information available to me this time. His leg, it doesn't seem to hurt. He uses it an awful lot. When I was getting ready to get him, I was getting his stuff together. He was climbing the bars of the cage, jumping all around. He had made it to the second tier. I'm making sure, or I'm trying to make sure that it moves well. He's got a lot of range of motion. He's using it himself, and I haven't extended it past, when I'm moving it, I haven't extended it past what I've seen him do. But he stands up on it. He uses it to pull himself up. It just seems weak right now. And I was just talking to Karen a few minutes ago and forgot, really, he's not been here 2 days. He's been here a day and just over. Well, maybe right about now. He got here about 3:30 or so Eastern time. So this is his beginning of the end of his second day with me. So it's easy to forget, especially when you're doing midnight and overnight feedings. It's easy to forget that he hasn't been here that long, and his trauma was just a couple days ago. You chewing? So I can't really have an expectation of him getting better right away, because we all need time to heal. And he certainly will. So he's been sleeping a lot, and it's been over a year since Brisby was here, so I don't remember what their sleeping schedule is, other than they're babies, and that's all they really want to do. He's got it curled under. It's a good color. It looks, his leg, it's just looks like it doesn't, like he doesn't want to use it. All right, buddy, you're too close to the edge there. There we go. There we go. Where are you going? Where are you going? He's looking for some place to snuggle under. He's like, lift up your shirt, man. This is how it's supposed to work. Lift it up. You like that too, like Brisby, huh? Yes, you do. Everybody likes their head rubbed. Right? Once you get them warm and dry, they're supposed to only eat 7% of their weight in cc's, or whatever that 7% is. and then I break it down into the cc syringe so that I can keep track. Sorry, y'all are getting the between the leg hold while he tries to burrow. He's tired again. Teepee. So he's been eating about 3. When he got here, we were doing real slow hydration until he got himself back. Hey, Karen. Until he got himself back to feeling a little better. And then after the hydration, slowly introduced formula, a real thin, watered down version of it until he acclimated into the rest of the Epsilac. So, and he eats like a champ. And Karen reminded me on one of the videos, he was sounding off. And earlier today, I was off doing something else. See, this hand too, I don't know if you see that, he uses it great. But when he's resting, he will just let it kind of fall limp. And it will, and he'll sort of monkey walk. He'll rest on his knuckles. Hi, Amanda. Say hello, Amanda. Hi. I'm Lazarus. I have returned for all of your produce. That is my demand. Oh, yes, you hear that hawk out there. You hear the hawk? Yeah. You gotta learn to listen to those. I don't know. I know most babies need to be burped. But I wasn't sure if squirrels did. And Brisby was not on formula a terribly long time. In reference to weaning them off of formula, there's really not a method to do it because they do it themselves. Just one day they push the bottle away and they decide, okay, I'm done. So right now he's only on formula. Yeah, we're talking about you. We're talking about you. He's only on formula. In a few weeks, we'll introduce him to a few solids. One of the things I will start out with is once he gets his teeth and he's checking out, how to use it a little more, is we're going to go right to vegetables, probably some kale and things to get him some vitamins and minerals, and then after that we will start with sweet potatoes because they'll chew on them and it'll act like they're eating, but then all of a sudden they're not taking anything down. They'll just spit it out. So if you leave sweet potatoes around in their cage when they're about ready to eat solid foods, that's a good way to test them, because they will chew it up but spit it out. So then you'll see all of these little remnants. Yeah, his tail's looking fluffy. Fluffier than Brisby's was at this age. Anyway, you'll see the little red, orange remnants all over the cage from the sweet potatoes. And if you see that, then they are not ready to eat. They'll just chew it up and practice with their teeth. So vegetables come after formula, but he'll be on formula for probably a good couple weeks. Anyway, going back to burping, I wasn't sure if these little guys needed to be burped. I know I've read that they cannot regurgitate, which it didn't explain why, but I'm gonna take a fairly lack of educated guess and say it's because they hang upside down. Their feet go 180 degrees almost the other way, so they can scurry down a tree when something's chasing them. They can almost run, I don't know, it was like 16, 20 miles an hour down a tree. Anyway, so if you're hanging upside down like that a good portion of your day, it does not help to be able to regurgitate. So they can't, so whatever's down is down. But burping, I've heard him make a few of them after feedings. It sounds like a little He's not clicking, there's no signs of aspiration. No, I was a little worried about that when we first started feeding, but he does this suckling noise that sounds like a clicking, and his little tongue will go into, back and forth in his mouth, and then he'll decide that he needs to practice his suckling. So, but otherwise, there hasn't been anything other than his back leg, left rear. I would say it's probably the back foot, really. The leg moves decently. It's just, I think that the foot, he has a hard time. Doesn't seem to be in a lot of pain. I've been moving him around. He was standing on me. He's jumped several times. And it works. He puts it out there. It just might be weak. And like I think I said yesterday or this morning, it could be from the trauma. Hopefully in a couple of days we'll strengthen him back up, and he will learn to use it or get some good use back into it. Hi, Sharon. Hey, Scott. No kidding. Guinea pigs can't eat lettuce because they can't pass gas. Huh. I did not know that, and I'm racking my brain going, did I feed my guinea pig lettuce? We had one eons ago when Jaden was just a little bit. We've had all the animals. I'm being watched by Eva. She's come in for lunch and is not used to me sitting here like this. Yeah, iceberg lettuce, not a good idea for your guinea pigs. And like I said earlier, there's a great feature on rescuing squirrels. I put a link up yesterday and told a little bit of the story. The featured rescuer on there is the lady that helped Brisby and I through his botfly incident. The great botfly incident of 2018. And I'm sure that I will come to depend on them greatly with little Lazarus here. He looks like he's ready to go night-night. You can't go night-night. I want you to go play. I need to figure out how much these guys sleep so that I can relax a little. Cilantro and parsley for your guinea pigs. Yeah, we'll go with some kale and broccoli and sweet potatoes when we get started. But he's just over maybe 5 weeks. He's got little teeth, his eyes are open, but he'll be on formula for a few more weeks, probably till about 8-ish weeks. And then he will decide when he's done with the formula. Brisby did that and just said, I'm done, spit it out, kept on walking. But I've learned a lot since we found Brisby, so I'm hoping to be able to incorporate that into little Lazarus here. Let's see. What are we doing? Yeah, we had all the little critters when the girls were growing up. We had made the mistake of buying a dwarf bunny. Now, that's what the sign said. By the end of the first year, this rabbit was as big as the cats. By the second year, it outweighed the cats. And the only rabbit that I could find that looked somewhat like it was in the classification of Giganticus. So if you get the gist of the Giganticus bunny, you could tell how much Midnight, probably his name was Midnight, an all black bunny. You can tell how much he probably weighed just by being in the phylum of Giganticus somethinginus. So we got scammed there. We ended up buying a small cage for a giant bunny, and we actually had to build something. Earlier I had mentioned that if you find a squirrel, try to find a rehabber. Make sure that somebody with experience is doing this. It's not easy, it's not difficult, but it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of time. And if you're planning on releasing them, then it's probably a 2-3 month deal. If you find them when they're a little older, if you've got pinkies, you may be in for a 6-month commitment, and that's to release. Then you've probably got another 6 months of weaning them off of your attention, letting them go in a controlled way, having a soft release room, which is what this is. Brisby acclimated to his outside area just by virtue of being back here on the porch where he can see everything. There were squirrels going by, he heard the sounds, acclimated to the temperatures, and that's what Lazarus will do. Right now, he spends the days with me out here or wherever I am, painting or something, and then at night he comes in with us, and that way I can check on him every few hours. But if he does not show that that back leg especially is going to be useful to him, I may have just committed to a non-release squirrel. And that's okay. We live in a brick house. We've got the experience with Brisby having one around, so we've had some thought on it, and I wouldn't take them if I didn't think that I would want them full time, because you just don't know. So those are things you need to decide prior to saying, yeah, I'll do it. And then there's a lot of great information online, especially in the squirrel resources, that if you do, try to get some classes, try to learn some about wildlife, talk to your local vet if in your area you are permitted to have this type of wildlife. I know there are some states that are like, nope, no chance, and the minute they find out, they do drastic measures. And then there's probably a few places, I would say, like Texas and some parts of Florida, where if you can catch it, you can keep it. Well, you want a tiger? Yeah, go ahead and get a tiger. We'll put it in the backyard. So those areas are a little more lax in what you're allowed to have. But if you do get the opportunity, try to learn something about rehabbing these guys, because there are some tricks to it, and make sure that they do good. So, man, we're going to eat. We're going to numb on our tail. I don't know why the focus is blown on this angle, but what are you doing? Thank you. I was hoping I was doing that area justice. Florida has such a variety of accents from everywhere that we all come from. I'm from the Northeast, but I don't think I have a terrible accent in any way. But Florida, you can find every accent you desire, from North to European to Texan to, and I believe Texas is a specific accent. You can't say Southern, because those are two totally different things, Southern or Southwestern. Big cat tiger sanctuary. I was just talking to my dad. He's over in Vegas, and I was telling him if he gets a chance to go check out the Siegfried and what's his name, Roy, sanctuary where they had their animals. It's kind of rough, but you get a real close opportunity to see these animals. I wish they were in better circumstances, but with what they've done in their lives and where they are, I'm just glad that they have someplace they can depend on. So anyway, he's in Vegas. I told him about it. And I said, yeah, if those tigers want, they'll come right through that fence and just have at you. So I think he's going to go. That wasn't my intent to tell him to go and try and get mauled by a tiger. It was just sort of part of the conversation. All right, we are making ourselves comfortable. I don't know if you can see any of that. He's under the lip of my shirt. Him and his little hobbit ears. And this is exactly what Brisby used to do. He would get himself all tucked in. I apologize for the crotch cam. Oh, yeah. He started growling. He's starting to vocalize, which I think is cute, but I'm sure that he's like, no, it's not cute. Alright, buddy, you're stuck in there. Come here. I don't want you to fall out into the trash. I don't. I don't want you to fall out. Okay, this is where we ended up. Yep. He's eaten. He's been burped. He peed on my hand, and he's been going potty number 2 in his little cage. It's really cute. He sleeps with baby Batty. He crawls underneath the wing, and it gets draped over him. What, you have problems like me? You can't get comfy when you go to sleep? Can't relax? He wants to draw my shirt around him. How about this? Okay, there we go. All tucked in. Time for night-night. Okay, next time you wake up, we're going to try this little obstacle course I built you over here. It's a recycling bin that we had dropped off forever ago. Never used, sat in the garage. I just spent all morning cleaning it out. And that sock over there actually has a bottle of water in it that I've warmed up. And that's how I keep him during the day warm. I put a hot water bottle in there in a sock. And he either curls up with it or he just stays away from it depending on what he wants. Sometimes he'll actually just sleep right on it. And then in the evenings, when he's in my room, his cage is half on top of a heating pad, set on low with a timer, the whole 9 yards. And that gives him an area to go to when it gets cold in the evenings. Let's get this prepped. Okay, you go here. There we go. And then we'll fold you up like a tamale. Say, I'm not tamale, I'm Les. Not tamale, I'm Les. You don't know what you want to do. No Brisby yet today, but weekends are odd. Sometimes I will see him all day, and sometimes it's just once because the schedule of the community changes, and so they're not awake as early. I know they have a signal that tells them when the sun's up, but I do think that our neighborhood, or wherever neighborhood they're in, tends to get them up at certain times. So during the week they're up before we are, and then on the weekends, especially Sunday, they're rare to be seen, and it's hot as heck out, so they try to come out during the cool or hot, the cooler periods in the morning and the evenings. So I haven't seen too many squirrels at all besides little mister here. So I'm not real surprised I haven't seen Brisby. If I don't see a lot of squirrels, that means they're not moving, they're not active, and that includes Brisby. So it kind of gives me some confidence that I will see him later when they start moving around. What are you doing? You gonna be like brother and try to dig to the center of the earth? I nom. And bite it. I'm gonna eat it. Focus. Yeah, when I turn this phone around, the front view, like you're holding it, you can see the screen and the camera is shooting Lazarus right now. That is not as well focused as the selfie camera. And I'm not sure if that's a design intention or if people just felt like pictures of ourselves were going to be far more important than photos of what's. So we'll switch. Let's see if I can get down in here. Oh, yes. That's much gooder. And I believe he's either teething or suckling or something on this. He's been gnawing on my fingers, on my shirt, my clothes. He was biting on Tina's nail earlier. But it looks like he's putting himself to sleep. You're putting yourself to sleep. Get it. He just shut everyone down. Said, show's over. Trying to find more material to close himself in. It looks like he's sucking his thumb. He's actually chewing on his other foot. I don't know if that's just a cleaning or if that has something to do with the injury. He's been grooming himself all day. He just started on this foot, but I have no idea if he would. At this age, anything we put on him, he would likely wear for a while. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I don't want him to like start chewing on his foot, but he seems to be going through the toes, cleaning off everything, just like he normally would. Yeah, maybe a hammock. That might be a good idea. Tina was telling me to wear a hoodie backwards, which I think I'm going to end up doing, especially if I paint. I'm going to put my hoodie on backwards, tie it around my waist, and actually I could cross it over my shoulder and tie it there and have the hoodie just hang down. Or I could just put it on backwards. It's not like I'm not used to sweating my brains out here with Brisby in a full hoodie. Yeah, baby Bjorn. Yeah, that's what I need. I was actually looking for a, what do they call those? A fanny pack. But those are long gone. I got rid of mine in the 90s. Alright, he's pretty much out for the count. So I'm going to let him rest here for a while. Just wanted to give you a peek. Post-lunch, second lunch. Probably move him here in a minute and get him into something I can carry him with me, and then I really want to get back to the painting. No, I doubt you can see it from here. Let's do that. There, I have a pouch. And this is fairly well how I walk around all day. In my Ravenlock shirt. That website function. Somebody's got it and they want a lot of money to get it back. And I wasn't doing promotions back then. Alright, this is where I am on the Brisby painting. I finally brought his eye to life. Gave him a little bit of tone in the muzzle. And I think I am on my way. I was just talking to somebody. I was talking to Karen a few minutes ago. I was just getting ready to tell her that I'm studying how to do water droplets, because that's where I'm headed next. Wind kicked in and knocked all my stuff over. Anyway, I've got some water drops outlined here, but I also want to make sure that in all this madness I don't forget, or I don't even omit. I may work on the ear somewhere, I don't know. It's funny, looking through a lens, just that distance for half a second of that disconnect between your phone when looking at something, it kind of gives you a different point of view, and I already see a few things I want to tune up. And that's the best way that I can watch Brisby and Lazarus, to find out what's going on with them, because the way I hold the camera, so I'm in back and they're in front, 9 times out of 10 I get a full 180 view, and if I can't see it from behind them, then I will catch it on the replay. So a lot of times I will rewatch these videos, not just to hear myself talk. I do like to hear myself talk, as you can tell, but I will check out Brisby to make sure there's not something that I'm missing, and I'm going to use the same technique for Lazarus. Anyway, we're getting close to home. I'm thinking that this is going to be the next one. I've already laid it out onto a canvas with a traceable, with this traceable actually, and I know that I've mentioned it before, but the reason that it is red is because I do my traceables with a red ballpoint pen so that I can see where I've been on my traceable, because there's been a lot of times that I've lifted up and gone, you know, I've missed half of his head, or I didn't draw the dragon, or whatever it was that I was trying to put in there. So Saral transfer paper, S-A-R-A-L, is a good get. And also, oh yeah, if you get an opportunity and you have issues in areas where you have humidity, a lot of dry or just heat, this thing has been one of the best investments I've made in my art careers. I've been using the same paint since Monday. I set up my ochre, that's horrible. This is my paint station, my little Coke stand. I've been using the same paint since Monday. I set up my ochres and my browns, and really it's held them together real well. I just put it into the Coke cooler at night, and it sort of seals it off. But that, and I know on the destructions, when they tell you how to do it, they tell you to soak the paper. I may have read it wrong and done it wrong. Soak the paper and then lay it onto the sponge and let the excess run down, wipe it off, and then use your paint. I did that. All the ends curled up. The sponge dried off in about 30 seconds, and it was curled up like a, I don't even know what to call it. Just, it looked frayed, and it was, the ends were, so I went ahead and soaked the sponge, which made a heck of a lot more sense. Let it dry out a little bit, soaked the paper for a few seconds to get it a little more supple, and then I laid it on there, and I guess that's the secret sauce for that. That's been awesome, is what I'm trying to say. I was tired of remixing almost every day, and then you find the conflict of, is that yellow or ochre the same as that ochre, or yellow or brown, or what about the white? So remixing every day, and I'm color challenged because I haven't done this for real since the 80s. So having the same color consistency has really done a lot for me. I'm swearing by it from here out. Alright, I'm going to take off before this gets any more time involved and y'all are staring at the same Brisby painting. This is what is left of Lazarus's endeavor to find himself a home. He is in there somewhere. Yeah, he's well concealed. Alright. You guys have a great afternoon. I will pop on if Brisby shows up. If not, it'll be this afternoon or tomorrow. Alright. Have fun painting and see what I can do. Take it easy.